Today we are talking with the founder himself of TriggrCon and getting all triggered up about TriggrCon 2018. Hey guys, my name is Dave Tim. Thank you very much for checking out this video. We are at gunsandtactics.com. Make sure you're following us on social media. Stay up to date on all of our cool news, events. And of course, the one thing that we're really excited for this summer is TriggrCon. TriggrCon is coming up July 26th through the 29th, 2018 in Bellevue, Washington. And today we actually have the founder of TriggrCon himself, the man behind the triggering of the TriggrCon, John Hwang. Thank you very much for joining us, John.
Thanks for having me, Dave. I'm excited to share more about TriggrCon today.
I am excited too. Now, just to give the viewers a little bit of background, TriggrCon kind of had its roots beyond TriggrCon as what we know it. Last year, it was the first year under the name of TriggrCon, but prior to that, you guys would have a show at Rainier Arms in Washington, and then there was also the Northwest Shooting Sports Expo, and now it's kind of evolved to TriggrCon. And I first attended TriggrCon last year, so the 2017 show. And if you guys haven't checked out our coverage from the show, I'll see if I can put a link in the description below via YouTube, or if you're following us on social media, we'll have links. But we covered it. We met with a bunch of new companies coming out with innovative stuff, and all of your old favorites as well. So we're going to be covering it again this year. But John, I got to say, the vibe that I had when I first went to TriggrCon, I kind of expected almost like a glorified gun show in a way, or more of a traditional gun show type feeling. And the reality was, when I got there, it was much more elegant in a way. There was the owners of the companies were there, the actual big players of the companies and the people behind the product. So like the lead engineers behind this product or the owner of this company was there, and they were interacting with everybody. And it wasn't your typical gun show where you'd have a lot of attitude or ego or anything like that, but it was just a friendly, open environment. The people were cool, the food was good, the events were fun, the VIP event was a blast. And I'm number one. I'm going back for these chicken bowls. I hope that guy's going to be back this year, but if that's a no-go, then I might have to reconsider my travel plans. But these chicken bowls were amazing. But John, if you could kind of just share with us how this vision started and how it kind of evolved to what it is now.
Sure. It started out many years ago, not really as a trade show, but we decided to do kind of a grand opening of this particular location. And at that time, we decided to do a little parking lot event, invite some manufacturers, so a lot of our customers who's been so loyal to us over the years could meet them. And believe it or not, many of the people showed up. Many of the manufacturers showed up, and they were able to meet actual owners of these companies, like you mentioned, like Noveske and Mega Arms, things like that. And once once the show, or once that parking lot event happened, people had so much fun. They said, "Can we come back?" And these were nice. These were manufacturers who. Even some of them came from a long distance. We had CMC triggers from Texas and things like that, and they said, we want to come back. And we had, I believe the first year we had Frog Lube there as well to support us, and it was quite amazing to think, wow, all these companies want to support just a small little event that we're doing. And so we did another parking lot event, and they just kept on, the momentum grew, and they said, you got to do something for the Northwest. You have to do something bigger. And so 2 years ago, we did what's called the Northwest Shooting Sports Expo. We called it that because we really wanted to have an expo, a similar experience to SHOT Show, that our enthusiasts here in the Northwest could truly experience something very unique. And so we knew we were going to lose a lot of money doing that event. It's not
just what every business owner wants to hear.
Yeah, I mean, we knew it was an investment, but we want to give something back to the Northwest, because we realized that without our loyal fans here, without the support that we get from the enthusiasts, even though we live kind of in a hostile environment, if we didn't have our loyal enthusiasts to support us, we wouldn't be where we are. So even though we knew we were going to lose money, we decided to have a big grand show, and we did it at the Tacoma Convention Center. It's a great facility, great venue, and it overlooked, Mount Rainier, and very, very professional. And we thought, hey, let's try to get 60, 70 vendors to come and see what happens. We had overwhelming response a couple of years ago, and it was a very good show. And a lot of the manufacturers, they knew they were going to lose money too, right? I mean, it's going to be a small show, small little area, not a lot of people, but they believed in our vision, they believed in us, they believed in our partnership. And so I'm so thankful to our manufacturers. Jeff at CMT, Cross Machine and Tool, I mean, he doesn't do shows, but he'll come to our show and support us. There's many people like that, Bobro Engineering, who make amazing optic mounts, and I've been friends with Andrew for many years. He doesn't do shows, but he'll do our show. So it makes it a very unique experience. And then it's evolved to, hey, this is so fun, let's really evolve it. And so the name TriggrCon came out, and we're really this year focusing on innovation. And what we're going to do very differently this year is we have an award called the Golden Trigger Award, and it's going to be given out to products or companies that have the most unique offerings. And what we decided to do is really supplement what SHOT Show is all about, and maybe some of the things that's lacking. There's a lot of great things about SHOT Show. The things I really love about SHOT Show is I get to go and meet all my industry friends and get to hang out and build a lot of synergy there. But the things I don't like is it's too big. There's just too much white noise, and there's a lot of things that get left behind. And so what we created in TriggrCon is a very kind of a small, unique atmosphere where you feel intimate, where you can connect with the owners of these companies, and a lot of business is being done. The other thing that's really cool about it is everybody's trying to release new stuff at SHOT Show, whether it's ready or not. They try to release things at SHOT Show, and only the new products are released mainly just once a year. And you know how much innovation is happening in our industry, and so that's why TriggrCon really stands for Tactical Research Innovation, right? So and then Guns and Gear Review. So it's really about innovation of our industry. And because there's so much of that going on. And so we thought the opposite time of SHOT Show would be a great time, July in Seattle. It is the best place in the world to be. If you haven't been to Seattle in July, I travel the world, as you know. It's the best place to be in the world. And so we have the show here. And this particular year, we're doing it in Bellevue. We're stepping it up a notch even this year, always pushing the envelope. And we're actually surprised a liberal city like Bellevue is allowing us to have a gun show there. Hopefully we can continue. Hopefully there isn't too many boycotts and it doesn't get shut down. But as long as they allow us to do it, we're gonna try to do it in Bellevue. A lot of amazing restaurants, a lot of amazing hotels, a lot more choices than Tacoma. Nothing wrong with Tacoma. That's where we started, and we're very thankful for Tacoma. But we're moving to a little bit more friendlier in terms of accommodations and such to Bellevue this year. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to checking out the new venue, and I was impressed with Tacoma. Now, a couple things that we kind of touched on that I want to talk about. But number one, I definitely want to add on your point of kind of that show of meeting the owners and everything else, because I thought that was one of the coolest parts is that it was open to the public. Yes, there was a range day, and yes, there was an industry day, but then there was the two main days that were open to anybody, which, as the viewers may not know, SHOT Show is industry only. You can't just buy a ticket and go there. And that's one of the things I hear about a lot when I run into people, when I was in Vegas and like, oh, you here for the concrete show or whatever? And I was like, no, I'm here for SHOT. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go to that tomorrow. I was like, well, no, you can't just go to it. Yeah. Whereas TriggrCon, anybody can go to, which is kind of cool, and have the same access and see the same stuff and get to play with the same stuff. But yeah, it definitely was about innovation. The AR Mini a couple of years ago, even the folding Glock last year, which I know there's been a lot of controversy about that, but I mean, that to date is our most viewed video because it's something different. It's out of the box, and whether it's a good solution for you or not, you have to admit that there's innovation with this mechanism, and what that innovation could evolve to for that particular product, who knows? But it was just cool to see different stuff you know, I don't like the term outside the box because I think it's overused, but you did just see a lot of new and innovative stuff, which was awesome.
Yeah, the full conceal guys, you know, they tell me all the time that that video that you guys shot and other people shot at Range Day really jump-started their whole business, and their business is exploding. And so
awesome.
When we can help companies get the word out, and that's what the show is becoming. Last year we had many media come out, and it was Recoil guys. We had Rob Curtis from Recoil. We had you know, Mr. Guns and Gear come out, and we had a lot of you know, smaller YouTube guys as well. And this year those guys have committed again. On top of that, we have you know, I think Mac from Military Arms Channel, Tim, you know, is trying to come. We have Soldier System, Eric Graves, confirmed to come, and so we have just more and more names just adding to the mix. And you know, it's a great, it's a perfect opportunity when you have new products coming out, engaging experience like that. Of course, media is going to come out, and you know, a lot of times, you know, the media understands as well that they might not get everything, all the value. Even the manufacturers, they realize they might not get all the value today, but they understand what we're trying to do, right? They see the vision of where we're going, and they believe in that. And so I'm so thankful for the media people who come out, and I'm so thankful for the manufacturers that come out, because at the end, it really benefits all the enthusiasts in the area, right? Like you said, we made it open to the public. We're going to always keep it that way. And the reason for that is, that was reason why we started the show. We wanted to benefit the end users, not just the shop owners, not just the people making the stuff, but try to benefit everybody involved in the industry. But the one thing I hate about our industry, there's so many things I love, but the one thing I hate about our industry is that there's so much backbiting and so much infighting amongst each other. I mean, there's so many people trying to attack us from the outside, right? And we really need to do a better job of not trying to kill each other. And that is the one thing that our show really does nicely. Like, one of the things we've done for years, we've had that dodgeball competition, and all the industry people come together, and the owners of companies, you get to throw balls at them. And I mean, it's just a lot of fun. And people tell me, John, in some of these other trade shows we go to, it's always whose muscles are bigger and whose gun's bigger. But at this show, it brings people together. People have a ton of fun. They enjoy the experience. And almost everybody who came back the previous years, they're coming back again. And they want to come back. So this year we're going to sell out. We haven't sold out quite yet, I don't think. I have to double check. But we're going to sell out for sure. We've already almost at max capacity. And so I know we're going to sell out. And it's going to be continuously, like, in the future, I believe it's going to be kind of a waiting list of, can I get on? And we're going to be like, well, do you have innovative products? If you have innovative products, we'll bring you on. If you don't, then I'm sorry, maybe next year. If you have some innovation in the summertime, we'll let you come. So it's going to be that type of show, and it's really evolving very, very nicely. And so,
and I think it could, easily grow to something big, like you're saying, with
you bet.
You know, almost like its own regional NRA type show or public shot show. And you know, but I like how you're already kind of saying, like, hey, we want innovation. You're not just tenured and your booth is your booth forever, kind of like some of the other shows out there.
That's right.
That you go to and, hey, do you have anything new this year? Nope. Okay. And you know, that's fine, because that's industry stuff, you're meeting people, whatever. But you know, I like that you guys are going to keep it dynamic, and you're going to keep it you know, kind of fluid, so it's truly not just a stale same old type show. And that's what I really enjoy about it. And like, again, like you said, the people part of it, that was way cooler for me. You know, one of the things about SHOT Show is that you get just as much work done at the show as you do after. There's all these like after dinner parties and after this and after that, and some of those are just so stuffy, and it's all about like, hey, have you met so-and-so? Hey, have you met so-and-so? And it's like, dude, I just got done working 10 hours a day, you know, running, busting my butt doing video editing. I kind of just want to have a relax, you know, and not, talk business, meet some people, but not have to worry about talking about this, that, or the other thing. And that was the really cool thing about TriggrCon, is that I believe it was the first night you guys rented out a brewery for everybody. Yeah. And it was literally just more of a community event. And I got to meet John McQuay from 8541 Tactical. I'm a huge fan of his YouTube channel. I love his precision shooting stuff.
That's right.
And The beer was good. The atmosphere was amazing. The people were great, and it was just no pressure, no stuffiness. It was like, hey, let's let our hair down and get to know each other. And it was a meet and greet and a networking, but yet so relaxed.
That's right.
And then the other VIP nights, and then you mentioned the I can't remember the venue name where the after party was, but there was all the virtual reality, the dodgeball. Gemtech gave away a ton of suppressors.
Right.
It was just, the after stuff was just as fun as the show stuff, and it was just, it was a great way for people to come together and have this community. So it's amazing. It's a really amazing show. And I know we're gonna probably getting a little lengthy in this video, but one thing I did want to quick touch on before we wrap this video up, John, is I do appreciate your loyalty to your home state and wanting to keep it in your home state and wanting to keep it Northwest. Now, I know if there's any criticism I've ever heard about TriggrCon, it's that the venue doesn't allow people to carry their firearm.
That's right.
And do I think it's a legit criticism? Well, maybe, maybe not. But number one, it's the law of the land there. If you could change it, you could. And it's easy to toss in the towel and say, fine, we're going to go somewhere else. So I do honor your commitment to staying loyal to your local patrons, your local state. I do feel that there's some honor in that. And also, like we talked about before the show, is that other venues, even for bigger shows, it's tough for them to find, carry-friendly places as well. But SHOT Show, you can't carry. Now, granted, they don't maybe screen as much as some of the venues in Washington, but I just wanted a quick touch on that. So people, number one, they're not surprised that they can't carry their firearm. Washington doesn't allow the firearms there. You have to leave it in your vehicle. But, if you just kind of want to share your thoughts and kind of just explain, that, hey, we could easily go to Texas or wherever, but you're deciding to keep it local. And I do respect that. So I'll just kind of let you touch on that before we wrap up.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Well, before we answer that question, I want to say the after party, the first beer night was provided by Grey Ghost Precision, Grey Ghost Gear, and Tactical Tailor. So they're the kind of sister company. So I want to make sure the credit is given properly there. But in terms of answering your question regarding carry, now obviously, we are a 2A friendly company. That's our primary business is AR-15s. If we didn't believe in it, we certainly wouldn't be in the business to do it. And we certainly wouldn't be investing. The show so far has still been in the red, meaning we've lost money every year. Hopefully this year we can break even or make a little bit of money. But we're investing in this industry because we believe in the industry. We love the people of the industry. We love our Second Amendment rights. It's unfortunate. Every state is different. Every city is different. Yep. And it's one thing to take the easiest road and say, well, I'm going to find a venue that allows people to concealed carry. Well, number one, that's becoming harder to do. But more importantly than that, our true vision of this show was to thank our loyal customers, especially of the Northwest. And so I'm going to keep the show here as long as possible. If the venues all say you can no longer have a show and you have to move, then we might have to look at some partnering states, Idaho, Oregon, something like that, if we have to. But at the end of the day, we obviously preach, being trained and carrying responsibly, but nobody should hamper your Second Amendment rights. But unfortunately, some of the city governments, they don't always see eye to eye with things that we do, and we have to comply if we want to use the facilities. And in this particular case, we do want to use the facilities because they're in the Northwest, and quite honestly, that's where we want to have our show. So hopefully that, I know it's not a satisfactory answer. Trust me, it's not a satisfactory answer for me. But it's something that we're understanding and we're trying to move forward with and try to make the best out of it. We're trying to find out some avenues. Can we get some lockers there? Is there some ways to do that? What can we do to make it less intrusive? And these are all conversations we're trying to have. But when there's shootings that's happening on a regular basis, these conversations are hard to have with liberal governments. I hope people understand that. But it's not that we're just rolling over and giving up. We're continuously asking these questions. We're trying to make it easy as possible for our attendees to attend. So hopefully that helps answer your question.
No, and I appreciate that. I really do. And again, I appreciate your loyalty to kind of, keeping it in your home state and honoring that commitment and, trying to give something back to your customers, which I think is a noble gesture of any business. And You know, one more thing I'll add quick, and then we'll wrap up.
Sure.
But, you know, you mentioned a lot of people, industry folks not doing shows, but they'll do your show. And I think, John, that's the amazing spark that you bring to this that kind of started the ignition, is the relationships that people have with you. And for you guys that don't know John, I met John in person for the first time last year at SHOT Show. We talked on the phone prior to that. And, you know, I got to know John and a little bit about his values. And you're an amazing guy, and I'm not trying to, you know, suck up to you because you sponsor the QA and that kind of stuff, which we do appreciate, by the way. But I really do appreciate the relationships that you build, and you really do put people first over stuff or sales this or whatever it is, and that's something I appreciate, and I think a lot of people that partner with you appreciate too. And I know that this thing is just going to continue to grow. Hopefully it'll be in the black for you someday. So as a business owner, it can be profitable for you, but I have no doubt that this is going to continue to grow and be one of the most amazing, most premier shows of our industry, and truly try to bring people together. So
sure, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I'm
the one thing I'll
to
say, Dave, is you know, we thank you for that. We do value people. We always want to add value to people, and we preach that on a constant basis to all of the team members that work with us. And just to give you an idea, like, our trade show is limited. We're gonna never make the show bigger than a couple hundred manufacturers. Now, as a business owner, if you think about that, that's pretty stupid, right? I mean, the bigger it gets, the more money we make. Right. It's better to make it big as possible. But that's not the intent of the show. We want to keep it intimate. We like that. We want to serve our people. We want to give value to the manufacturers who attend. We want to give value to the media who attend. And so we want to keep things small. So and that limits how much income we can generate out of the show. And we understand that, but it's not just always about the money. If you serve enough people, we believe you're going to make your money. And it's proven to us time and time again, if we serve people, then you get taken care of. And so we're very thankful for that. We're thankful for our sponsors. We're thankful for our partners. And so thank you for having me on and letting me explain TriggrCon a little bit.
We really appreciate your time. So for more information, you can check out the webpage, TriggerCon.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, we cannot put a link, but if you just Google TriggerCon, you'll be taken right to their webpage. Remember, there's no E in Trigger, but just search TriggerCon and you will find the information. If you're watching this on Facebook or Full30 or anything like that, we will have links in the description below. July 26th through the 29th, there's a range day, there's an industry day, and then there's 2 days that are open to the public. We really, really encourage you guys to make the trip. And if you run into us or anybody else, that's the cool thing about this show. Not anybody that I talked to was too good for anybody else.
That's
so
right.
If you see me or John or anybody else, please say hi. We love to interact with people. We love to hear from people. And we really, really want to see you at the show and check out all your favorite stuff. So again, July 26th through the 29th, 2018 in Bellevue, Washington. You can check out the webpage for more information. You can get information on registration, how to attend, tickets, all that good stuff. TriggerCon 2018. We look forward to seeing you there. John, thank you again for your time. I really do appreciate it. It's been a pleasure on my end. I hope several of our viewers can make it to the show.
Sounds great. Thank you, Dave.
All right, guys. Make sure you're following us online on all of our social media outlets so you can stay current on all things guns and tactics. That's www.gunsandtactics.com. Make sure you're following us on our social media outlets. We do have our monthly QA, so if you have a question, send it on in, and we do pick one random question asker to get a cool prize every month. And like, share, and subscribe to stay up to date. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.